I've learned to be inspired by the little things, yeah, yeah. While you sit and grow tired, I guess I'll spread my wings, yeah, yeah. And fly away, I'll have my day, one day, I know it.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Mad Track Talk. Thanks for tuning in today. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe on the channel. The tracks you just heard were from the guest across from me, Grigsb. How you doing, man?
Good, how you doing?
Good, bro. We had we actually carpooled here today. So it was a good car ride. We actually we got to talk a little bit. So it was nice, kind of get to know you, get comfortable before we do this. So I think this is gonna be good.
Yeah.
I guess to start off, you're kind of new to music as far as releasing stuff and everything like that. You said you've been doing about a year.
Correct.
So how did this all start? How did you I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna try and do this. How did it all start? Tell me a little bit of your story, man.
I was on a hike and I was with my cousin and we were talking about music, and one of the guys I was on the hike, he was like, yeah, my producer, yeah, we're just making music out here in Oxnard, we're making it. And I was like, oh, I've always wanted to do it, but I would sing in church, but that was it, in the pews, man.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, yeah, I'll come. And then so I went in the studio one day, and then just me and my producer Hyro we really started getting into it, man.
Nice.
And just he told me, he was like, you have something, give it a shot. And I tried rapping at first. It was trash. It was trash. And I was like, he's like, why don't you just sing, bro? And I was like,
really, you've had more experience. Like you said, you were in choir, so that would definitely flow a little bit easier.
Yeah, So I was like, okay, bet. And so I tried singing, man, and I really liked it. And it was
so when was this, year-wise, time-wise?
We were in 2020, so it's probably the end of 2018 going into 2019.
Okay.
Around there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And
so
then,
2 years now you've been doing this.
Yeah, I wouldn't say we were really serious in the beginning. It was more of a joke. But probably a year mark, we've been taking it serious.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. I mean, I'm so terrified to get behind the mic on singing wise and stuff. It's so terrifying to me. I'm just fuck, dude. I don't know. So anyone who does it, I always am props. It's just it's hard to just actually have the confidence to get up there and put yourself into it, you know?
Oh yeah, I'd be in studios sometimes and there'd be a lot of people in the room. I'm like, crap,
it's stressful.
Yeah, but I just know at the end of the day, we're all here for a reason, so I might as well give it my best shot.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm getting there. I kind of want to try. We'll see. I don't know. You might get a Lucifer the God fucking track. You never know.
Hey man, I gotta get you on my backups.
So when did you start releasing and getting that going? When you got a little bit more into it?
Yeah, so I made my first track called Seagull. I wrote it on an airplane on the way back east because I'm from Maryland as well as.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
when did you move to the West Coast?
So I'm originally from Ventura. I'm born and raised there all the way till sophomore year.
Gotcha.
My dad lives on the East Coast. Parents split, so I go back and forth.
Okay.
So I was like, you know what? I want to try something new. Take on the East Coast a little bit. Learn my culture out there because a lot of my dad's family, they're all out there on the East Coast. Our roots run deep out there.
So when I hope I can ask this. So when your parents split, he was out here in Ventura. And then he was like, yeah, I'm going to move back to where my family is, basically.
Yeah. So, he's originally from there. My dad came over here in the military. My parents met. They
So he was at, Point Magoo or something like that?
Yeah, he was out there on the base station, and they met, and they split. And then my dad went out there, and my mom stayed here. And I stayed with my mom for a long time because I love my mama. You know, she's giving me everything, and all I can do is give back. So I stayed with my mom, and we stayed out here. And then I flew back there. Sophomore year, I was like, let's try something new. I got burnt out of Ventura. I was I would have failed high school. I would have I had 1.0 GPA.
I can't say I didn't either. I kind of took it for granted, I guess you could say. I moved to Arizona.
So yeah.
So I was just and I actually did move back east when I first graduated from high school. I moved to Greenville, Pennsylvania.
Oh snap! Wait, did you ever go to Philly?
Yes.
Did you try cheesesteaks?
No, I wasn't able to really do any of the fun stuff. It was always traveling through.
Gotta do it, man.
Yeah.
There's 2 places called Chino's and Patty's.
I've heard about Chino's because my brother-in-laws, they play hockey and they played for the junior Flyers team in Philly. So yeah, they've been out there and they've like always like, yeah, that place is fire.
Well, there's a place across the street called Patty's and they're on like their competition.
Like, rivals?
It's like serious. And you have to go to both. If you're ever in Philly, and you try both and you're like, I mean, I get the Patties, but you know, like Gino's had it going too, you know?
Yeah. I gotta get out there. I haven't been able to, I mean, obviously the pandy been going on. I haven't been able to travel, but as much. But like, I haven't been in the East Coast in a minute, and I would actually like to go and enjoy it.
No,
you know, instead of being like school or like, I don't know, just traveling through it. Like I've been to Chicago, but I've never been to Chicago.
Yeah,
like I've been to the international airport, which is a bitch, but like other than that, you know, like I've been places, but I haven't been there.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
No, yeah. Like cause like, so since my parents, they were like split, I would have to travel back and forth. And so traveling back and forth, I had so many layovers. Like I can't even tell you how many flights I've taken because they've been split since I was like 10, like 11. And I'm 21 now.
So you got
so like I was going back and forth, man. Yeah, I got miles. Not that way, but yeah, I was going back and forth like crazy, and like I would always stop in airports, and I started to get like familiar with the restaurants in other airports in other states. So I'm like, oh, we're going to Denver. I got to get these wings. Like, oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and like,
so they'll have because they do in airports have like those little joints that are like the popular spots in the area.
Exactly.
Right. Damn, I never thought about that.
Yeah, nice.
I always usually get like if I'm flying by myself, I'll get like a glass of whiskey before I go on a plane. I just can't. I don't know what it is, dude. The last time we flew, I had a panic attack. When we got in the car, I just felt like I was like, just was stressed out, and it was early, and I was just like, fuck, we gotta get on a plane. I just don't like the whole atmosphere there. It's weird.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Anyway, so you went back and forth. So, I mean, do you have a little influence? I guess you would have a little bit of West and East Coast influence like throughout like your tracks and stuff. Then.
Yeah, well, I'm mixed. So I'm white and black.
Okay.
So I'm mixed personally. Yeah. So my dad's white, my mom's white. So being able to go out there and learn like, because like I'm really whitewashed over here on the West Coast, if I'm going to be honest with you, bro.
I feel like everybody.
Like if you met me before I moved out there, bro, I was like, hey, how you doing? Like, what's up, guys? And I'm like, I moved out there and my cousins smacked me real quick and put me in check, bro. And like taught me like what's good and like,
nice.
Just
get a little bit more of your culture in you.
Just like my roots and like I got to like because my great grandparents they live in Virginia, so I'd go to Virginia and go to like the country, bro, and just like see a different sort of lifestyle.
Different. It's a totally different world. Much, than over here.
Oh, exactly, and just seeing that stuff like they're just doing crops and like corn and like different stuff like it was just you don't see that here. Like you see you see the fields, but like. It's like buildings right next to it. You know what I mean? Like it's like it's not like forest.
Yeah. Here, bring your mic a little closer.
Yeah.
Right there. Perfect.
Gotcha.
Anyway, what so the going back and forth, I mean, I had to do that as a kid too. My parents were split.
Yeah.
It seems to be the generational thing, I guess, because most of the kids in our generation that are in from like the 90s to the early 2000s. It's like there's just a lot of families that split. And like it seems to be a trend. Do you have any like in your music, is there influence from like, you seem to be very in touch with yourself, because you have to be a little bit more independent when it comes to those circumstances. You have to pick yourself up a little bit more,
No, like definitely like if you listen to my lyrics, like you'll definitely hear like just from like opening statements of my songs, just like the word like if you really knew what I was really talking about, like if you know me, you're like, oh crap, like this will really, you know what I mean? Like I'm only down to sing about stuff I really been through.
Nice.
Like I'm not trying to be like I'm a fucking chick and like, make these bands. Like don't get me wrong, I'm trying to make some bands, but like music comes first, bro. You gotta love your music before you.
Yeah, it has to be true to you.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I'm definitely about that. Like,
oh yeah. So what's your first project you released?
First project was called Virgo.
Nice.
Me and my producer Hido, we just got together and we were like, he was kind of in a group before me, and then like right when I got there, the group kind of broke up.
Okay.
And it was just me and Hido, and so we were just like, let's get this. Like we did more in our first 12 days than they ever did.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we got stuff going, and I promised that fool, I was like, we're gonna like take this shit serious, not like other fools.
Yeah.
And so like we made the track Virgo in over a year. All the tracks that we made, like there were some throwaways, of course, but like this is what felt good. It wasn't completely mixed. It wasn't completely like finished, but we were like, let's just throw it out there, show the progress that I'm making as I go along. Like I don't want this to be like, and I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was called Virgo. It was like 8 tracks, I believe. I had just people from the city on it. That was it. I kept it local. And then one homie from Orange County. But yeah, I just wanted to keep it local.
Your producer, when you're in the studio, do you guys like, does he make the beats like on site with you? Or does he already have some like in his bank and he's just like, yo, I got this track you might like?
No, we get started. So either I'll come in with some stuff I half make, because I make beats myself and I've produced myself. So I'll take beats I half make and I'll bring them to him, or he'll just cook up for me on the spot.
Okay.
So I'll have a half beat because I'm like, dang, I can like sit there in my own little home and just vibe, and just like feel the music. Because when you make the music yourself, it's so much different because you can sing. You made it, so you can sing over it like nobody else.
Visualize it.
Exactly. So like, and then like I'll go to him and be like, throw the drums on there, because I'm not good at drums. But once I find that melody, I'm like, oh my God, and I get that thing going in my head. But we'll go in there, and that's how we start. Like sometimes he'll send me a beat and I'll start writing or whatever. But like, I feel like all of our best tracks came in 15 minutes. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like it was just like, and it was organic.
Natural.
It just like came out.
Exactly.
That is one thing that like we've like told some of the artists here, like we work with and too, is like simple is almost like better.
Yeah.
Like if you keep it like raw and just like, keep it fresh. So that way it doesn't seem overworked, or like you don't feel overworked by it. It's just that it's organic.
Yeah,
That's the best way to describe it.
Exactly, because like we be like, sometimes we don't have our best days. Like we'll sometimes make some beats and like he'll tell me mine's trash and I'll tell him his is trash, and like we joke, like we have that, like you have to have that relationship with your producer. Like if you're an artist, you need a producer, like someone like I could be like, bro, you can drop all my music and I know you're gonna give me all my money. You know what I mean? Like you need that person, because if not, if you're working with too many people, stuff's going to get out of hands.
Yeah.
So I have this producer I can trust, and I can sound stupid around. He's going to be like, we'll do this to change it. And we're going to really take each other serious and listen to each other, not just let it go through one and
Yeah. And that is, it's a big thing to have someone you're comfortable with, especially because when you think about it, like you're with this person in a studio for hours.
Yeah.
And that's one thing in the audio industry that like we've been taught. Shout out Mike Derbs. It's Derbs behind the boards.
Yeah.
We went to school together, and that was something like a lot of the guys there taught us, was like you have to be kind of like a cool hang.
Yeah.
Like you can't be like a fucking
lame.
just like sitting there, being weird.
A lame.
Yeah. Just like weird. Like it's just interesting that that's a factor. And in other industries, that's not necessarily like the case. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
When you're in a studio with someone and building that relationship and like having that going constantly, it has to be comfortable.
Oh,
and you have to be real with each other. You have to be like, I don't know, man, it doesn't slap as hard as I thought it would. Let's try and change it. Like you just, those notes.
Yeah.
The camaraderie, I guess you could say.
No, you're right, bro. Like if you don't have that, then it's like, there's no connection. The music's probably not going to sound as good. You're just trying to like, it's like.
Not vibing as much.
Yeah. And it'd be like that sometimes, like not every day is your best day, bro. Like it happens to everybody, like the best of the best.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
You got to go through the motion.
Yeah. And we were on the ride over here, we were kind of talking about like when you record and stuff, you said you were hopping around studios. So what do you mean by that?
So lately, I work with this producer. His name's King Cortez, and this amazing singer artist. Her name's Sada James, and I've been doing some photography for them. And so like I've been able to incorporate, because I almost went to college for photography. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do photography, and I was like, fuck this.
You can teach it all yourself now. Like,
well, exactly.
That's the crazy thing, is that like all these guys that are selling all these programs online and stuff, it's like you can just learn it online. YouTube, it just takes time.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. But no, like just taking this photography, and then like, because the connections I have, taking photos of these famous artists and just connecting with them. Like everybody wants a photo, not like that, but like I make good photography, and like I'm also a singer. So like I'm going to shoot some photography with a big artist and I'm going to try and at least show them some of my music. You know what I mean? Like I'd be hopping around studios with them and everybody wants a photo. And like, I love taking photos of people, you know, like that's a memory that's going to stick with them and last forever. Because if you're in the studio making fire and you're not filming it or shooting it, what, just your memories to remember it? You want to look down the road and be like, whoa, like that was me, show your kids or whatever, you know?
Definitely.
Like a photographer is very useful, you know?
Yeah.
And so like I've been able to incorporate photography into music and just taking the skills I've already learned to my journey and just applying it, you know?
Yeah. So, and that's right. You did say you were super into, you were doing a lot of photography stuff.
Mm.
When did you start like, you know, I'm going to go start trying to like, I know I feel comfortable with like taking pictures now. Like I can do this.
Yeah. So my grandpa, he was in the Secret Service and he retired. And so when he retired, he just stayed on photography. He would go to Alaska and shoot bears and inspired me. He'd show me all his photos he'd take. And I was like, dang. Mm-hmm. So like we would just sit down and he'd start showing me stuff here and there. And then like I finally just caught on and then like I felt like I could do it myself, you know? Like I was like, oh, this ain't too bad. So I realized just like the right shots on people and just right angles and like making people look good and, you know?
Yeah. You just have to know like what, I guess you have the eye for it.
Exactly. That's just all it is. Like some people really can't take pictures and it like trips me out. Like,
well, they'll look flat. That's the problem is there'll be no almost dimension to it.
Well, people are used to looking at eye level. As long as you're taking a photo that's not eye level, people are going to always take a second look at it because it's not, you're always used to seeing eye level. But if you're looking here or like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's a different view.
Yeah. And that's the whole perspective of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we did like doing music videos and stuff, you definitely have to like really picture it in your head before you take the shot.
Yes.
So that way number one, it's obviously planning. But like, that way it's easier. And it's like, okay, we're going to do this. And you have the image in your head, not to mention the edit and everything. So it's like when you have that spark of creativity in that moment, it feels fantastic. Do you ever get that when you like making a track? You're just like, dude, this is feeling it. Like I'm feeling it. Has it recently?
Dude, like I'll be sitting there with Haida and like, just like some of these tracks I have coming. Oh my God. Like I'll just be sitting there and listening to that beat and I'm just like, crap. Like if that beat can't make me move or if I can't feel it, there's no reason to even hop on it, dude. Like I want to be able to move to music, you know? Like I want a feeling because music's really about feeling. Like you gotta feel it, bro. Like that's what makes someone like your song. Like it moved you a different way, you know? That's what music's for. That's why it's still like always gonna be
around.
It's always gonna be around, you know?
Yeah. It's and it's been an ever-changing world, obviously, with the pandy.
Panoramic.
And so how has it been for you over this whole like thing, like shut down? And
dude, it's been great. Like I know like it's sad. Like don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Like it's very sad to see people like,
especially like my thing is like the local businesses.
Yeah, it's like people are really struggling, you know, and like some people have lost people through this. And like I understand that. Like, but like music perspective wise, me as like a young up and coming artist, all these big artists that had plans to drop albums, all these big artists that were making moves, stopped.
Yeah, because there's no shows.
Stopped, bro. And so that gave me time to catch up. I made tracks. I made so many tracks. I made so many connections over this whole thing. And I was like, wow, I'm way ahead than I would have been. I would have felt so much more behind. Like I was planning on doing these stupid shows and stuff in LA, like at the time before quarantine. If I were to have done those, I feel like I wouldn't be as far as I am now. So I feel like, I mean, even though it's been so bad, like it's really low key helped me. Like, you know, like,
but also you've gotten that, like you've got more experience in yourself that maybe at those shows you wouldn't have been as experienced as you are now. And now you'd be like, okay, I can do that easily.
Exactly. I feel like I would have went out there and just made myself a fool and like took myself short. Like I learned patience, bro. Like people don't have patience.
Yeah.
Like
it's something I'm always working on, especially as an audio engineer. You have to have patience, like with like work and like, all right, it's going to come. Don't worry about it.
But little things here and there you see and you're like, this is why I'm still doing this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's and that's the thing I noticed too, and a lot of my homies noticed is just like we got to take advantage of the current situation. That if everything's shut down and we're stuck inside, then we might as well like use our time wisely.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, like
and you have a good time doing it. It's music. Like how can you know, it's always a fun a good time when you're doing it.
Oh, of course, man. Like once you get that feeling, bro, it's over. Yeah.
Real. And so going back and forth in Ventura, you're in Ventura now, like pretty much all the time now, right?
Yeah, I stay in Ventura 100%. That's where school, work, and girlfriend is. So like that's where I stay. And then like besides that, I'm going. I just go to LA to just film and stuff. But my studio's in Oxnard, so.
Is there anybody you work with in Ventura? There's studios in Ventura?
Yeah. So shout out Hoodie Hero. Shout out INDB Studios. So they're a studio out there in Ventura. That was the first studio I ever went in, like a legit, like that was like my first real thing. And like the guy who runs it there, Trey, he was really cool. Like got to meet him, and then the producers there, they were so homie Ty. Like it was cool getting to meet them and like getting like it's not your normal studio. You're in Ventura, like you're not in LA. You know what I mean? Like
it has to be chill.
It's like
it has to be kicked back.
It's Ventura, bro. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like people are there to talk, to be friendly. They're not.
Yeah.
LA, that's all LA is. It's just get it. And like Ventura, it's so peaceful. It's a suburb, you know?
Yeah.
Like going in the studio there, it's like it was a different feeling. Like I feel like if I were to start it in LA and went all out, like I would have got sick of it, burnt out, bored. Now over here in Ventura, I'm vibing with my bros, you know? Like
where is the studio at?
It's actually the studio is right there by the mall in Ventura.
Okay.
It's like by Topper's Pizza. If you're from Ventura,
no,
you know.
Yeah. So it's the
in the
Ocean
industrial.
View.
So you know the industrial district right there.
Yeah.
So right there behind Topper's, it's back in there. It's like the only studio back there. And like, if you go,
it's right there. So it's kind of by Spencer McKenzie's, right? Fish tacos.
No. I'm talking the other Toppers.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. I'm talking. No, in the middle of Ventura, you'll see like let me think. Target's right there. Bed Bath and Beyond. Sizzler.
Oh, I know what you're talking. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay, so the Toppers right there behind it, that whole industrial district right there.
It's in there.
So if on that main road, if you go down there at like 12 o'clock at night, sometimes and drive, all you hear is boom, boom on the street because the bass and that.
That's nuts.
And just like being able to have that in Ventura and just the cool people that were there, it just made it so much more amazing. And the connections I made from that.
I gotta try and link up with them.
Oh yeah,
I've been trying to find something local to get some work or just like see what is available out there.
Oh, of course,
as far as artists, and stuff. So.
Yeah, it was like the only thing I felt like was real. Like it wasn't like fake. Like because there's some studios where you like they're just trying to get your money and get you out of there, bro.
Yeah, they're trying to get the studio time, and then like you're like, all right, well. This is cool, I guess.
Yeah,
you guys got the stuff, but I just feel rushed.
Exactly. There's no like process.
Yeah.
It's all about the process, man.
Yeah. Interesting. I mean, and then with everything, I mean, I guess we're coming out of the pandemic. We're in purple.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. We'll see on.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We're here.
We're here. We're just going through it,
Yeah. I haven't got COVID yet, as I know of, so I'm chilling.
Dude, I already had it. It passed. It was not that bad. Yeah. For me, though.
You're superhuman now. Exactly.
I'm young, so it's not that big of an effect. It's okay. With that ending now, like, have you seen things like open up? Are you trying to get in any shows, or like you trying to see what is like available?
Yeah. I've just like I haven't been focused on shows yet too much because I'm waiting for things to officially open.
Yeah, like more live stuff.
I got some friends that like are about to go on tour and stuff. So like hopefully like once they like do that stuff in 2021 right now? So in 2022. Yeah, I know. Like I don't even know where we're at anymore, But like in 2022, things will hopefully really open up, and that's when tours will get going. And I got friends that are just like, yeah, just come out to my show and open, Like
nice.
I have like connections on the East Coast. I want to go back there, and because like I've been able to like put a little drop on the map there and like spill out there. Like I want to.
Yeah, because you got homies out there, and if you drop something, they're like, yo, my homie just dropped this track. That's
exactly. Because like the most recent thing I've been doing is, so I've been hitting up, what are they called? Oh my goodness, I can't even think of the word right now.
What?
Who are people who play instruments? Oh my God.
Musician?
Thank you. See, I know it. Starting to catch up, man. So musicians, I've been hitting up musicians on Instagram, right?
Mm-hmm.
And around the world. I want to start connecting around the world. Like, there's no reason we shouldn't be. We're in a pandemic, bro. And so I've been asking.
Everything's online, and you can record literally straight from your house.
Exactly. Yeah. So I've been hitting them up. I'm like, hey, can you do a cover over my song? Just vibe out, be yourself, don't write nothing, just jam out. And they've been down to do it. And I've got a trumpet player from Argentina, a pianist from Scotland, like just these different people, bro. And just once you start doing this more, like you're just putting yourself more out there. If you're not down to do that, then what are you doing? Like,
so have you like taken advantage of like the TikTok stuff and like that? The only reason I say take advantage, I mean, I've even brought it up to our chief engineer here.
Yeah.
JMKM, shout out. I've talked to him. I've been like, we just need to get on it because it really allocates like your interests. The algorithm is pretty on point and it's kind of scary, but at the same time, it's useful if you're, you're making content and you're doing your thing.
Okay.
Is that you can like, say you made a beat, right? And then someone can like duet that beat and like sing over it or do like the verse and then you could do the hook. And then you just like duet that video and then like people just eat that shit up. Likes, shares, like follow, like it's crazy. Like how all of a sudden some guy's like nobody. And then all of a sudden he's got like 500,000 views on a video because he duetted and he's an artist and he's like just trying to make it. It's crazy. It's just weird pop-ups, man. Because I was really not for it.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I don't want to see all the singing and dancing shit. But then once I started, like, I only liked what I liked.
Oh yeah, you got your own algorithm.
Yeah, like I was like, I'm not gonna like a bunch of random shit.
Yeah.
So then like music producers, engineers, and like advice, different things about like PC computers, because I've been trying to find different things about that. And it's just like, it's crazy.
Yeah, of course.
It's weird, but like you're just, I don't know, I would say take advantage. Shout out TikTok. You want to promote this shit? Give us some sponsorship.
For real.
I'm promoting your fucking app right now. But their algorithm is crazy. I'm not going to, I give them credit for that. It's nuts.
Like I have TikTok. Like, don't get me wrong. Like probably like okay. I made a TikTok last night.
Nice.
About music.
Yeah.
And like, that's funny how you're mentioning this right now. And like, it was like goofy because it was like when you hear a track in the studio and like on the car ride, I showed you one of those funny videos and I was like, oh, I want this beat. And like, just like something funny like that. But like, it relates to music, and I be on Discord a lot.
Yeah.
So
Discord's a good thing to be on.
I be in Kenny Beats Discord and the memes in there are like producer memes. And like me as an artist, I'm like, this is gold. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, especially when you're in that little community and like you just get it.
You get it. Yeah.
We always compared it to like Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Where there's like muggles, there's like the regular people who are like don't know audio.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like everyone who's in the audio industry is like, oh fuck, dude, like we totally get this. And you try to explain it to someone and they're
like, huh?
What is that?
What's a DAW?
Yeah, exactly. That's my favorite thing. Is like, yeah, my DAW. I'm working on my DAW right now. And they're like, what's a DAW?
Yeah, they're like, huh? Oh yeah. What? Yeah. I've been there before. Don't get me wrong, but like I had to learn real quick.
Oh, dude, once you learn it, it's over. You know what I mean?
Real.
It's just one of those things where it's all right, cool. Like we know it now. Like,
yeah. It's like learn it quick or snap.
Yeah, and then you'll be out in the fucking shadows if you don't.
Well, dude, like I've been like really watching like Kenny Beats and like that man's very smart. And like one thing he was saying, like, I'm gonna give you all this, like he's down about giving stuff away. He's like, I'm gonna give you all these uncopyrighted like beats and packs and all that stuff. And I want you to say that's yours. He's like, I don't want no credit. And then he's like, I'm gonna teach you how to lie right now. He said, when you get in that studio and that producer, that big time producer hears that fire beat and he hears my stuff and he goes, how did you make that? He's like, this is what I'm going to teach you. He's like, say you got an old Beatles mic and you recorded it in that. And he's like, that's just what the game is. Like this dude, Kenny Beats, has been like really teaching you like little stuff.
Yeah, I got to tune into his stream more.
Yeah, like it's like in his community, it's huge. He has the #1 music stream. Like,
that's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I love his stream though, because like when he came out with that Denzel Curry album with him, dude, I literally like I think I jammed to it for like 2 weeks straight.
Yeah,
and just like it's just so fire. He just has a way of bringing you in, and he really describes it in his Twitches too, where he goes into it and he's like, yeah, you gotta like put atmosphere in it and like make people be somewhere.
Okay,
basically.
Yeah.
Like one of my tracks I just did recently, I produced, it was like, it's super like mellow.
Okay.
But I put like rain underneath.
Ooh.
You know, so like putting little ambience or even like
that space.
Yeah, just like putting you in that space, like wind blowing or like, you know, you hear grass blowing or like trees, you know, like
water
if you just
trickling
underneath your track just a little bit, it just brings a whole nother feel.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I feel like who was the murder? Was it murder? It was Murder Beats. I think Murder Beats was saying like that's like a good thing to do. Like if you're like listening to like when you listen to so many different musics, like sometimes like one music genre will be such the same, but if you add that little fill, like that little gap, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, like it's
just that little water.
It just like it just fills it up.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a little bit better. You know, instead of it being a little bit too dry, like super crisp, it just gives it a little bit of soft. Yeah. Just to kind of like get the whole track together.
Because you can listen to a beat, man, and you can be like, oh, this is trash. Like you could be like, it has no, like, it sounds like stock instruments or like, it's like.
You just have to add some spice and sizzle.
Yeah.
You know, just a little.
That's what it takes to be a producer, you know?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Like, you can't, and that's the thing is, it's also the craziest thing. Have you felt this? Is you're so like judgmental of yourself because you've seen like what it is possible. Mm-hmm. So you're just like, fuck, dude, it just doesn't sound like I want it, you know, like where it should, but it is, but it's not. It's just like this constant battle within yourself. Have you felt that as?
Yeah, like I go through all the time. Like I'll send tracks to like close family members or like homies. I'm like, I got some people who I know who are really gonna tell me the truth.
Yeah.
So like I'm always like I'm afraid to sometimes show people music because I don't want to hear it. Like I don't want to hear that first because if I hear that, it's gonna throw me off. Like I love my girlfriend. Don't get me wrong. Like she's very supportive of me, of course. But like if I show her some music sometimes, it's not that what she says. It's like I can feel it. Like I know how she looked. Like she'll be like, yeah, or she'll be like, okay. So, like you know what I mean?
So this is so interesting that you bring this up. Have you ever heard of the podcast Tiger Belly? I've brought it up multiple times in the podcast. But it's Bobby Lee and his girlfriend, and then they usually interview like some like comedy star or like an actor or someone, you know, big in the business.
Correct.
But they're literally talking about that because he is in the show Magnum PI.
Yeah.
You know, and he was asking for like an honest, like, you know what I mean? And he's like, I just knew how she looked. Like she would be like, oh, it's good. You know, and like he just could tell like she didn't like love it. So he was just like so down about it. And then, but when it was the opposite when she did something and he actually thought it was great and nothing needed to be done. She was like, well, like, you're not giving me a real answer. You're just saying it's great because you're my, you know, my boyfriend or husband or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, it's so interesting that you bring that up because the whole thing with spouses, it's hard to sometimes like get that defined, like definitive answer because they want to be supportive and because they love you and they they don't want to fucking break your heart.
Well, no, it's like my girlfriend, like I'll be like, you can tell me, like, you know what I mean? Like I know some tracks aren't hot and I know some tracks are hot. And she'll tell me straight up, she's like, oh, this one's hot. Like the first song I ever wrote was obviously about her. So she was like, oh, this is jumping. Like, you know what I mean? Like she's like, oh, this is it. Like I was like, of course.
Yeah.
But like I've made songs before where like I knew it was hot, but it was like maybe not being so nice. Like, you know, like I write my music not always about her.
Yeah.
Sometimes I got to write music that's like not always about like, don't get me wrong. Like I've lived it maybe or not, but like it's about like real feelings and like may not always be like, I love my girl. Maybe it's like, we're not going through some good things right now. You know?
Yeah.
Even though we really are, you know, like, but she'll hear and be like, what's your problem? Like, I'm like, nah. I'm like,
I totally get you. I was editing that video I was telling you I finished.
Yeah.
I was listening to because it's a lyric video. So I was typing out all the lyrics and I'm like reading them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this guy's got a girl and he's talking about like, you know, bitches and this and that. And I was like, oh, but like, I mean, if you really think about it, it's like you're an artist. Like whatever flows through, like basically, I guess your fingers onto the pen and then into the mic.
Yeah. I mean, like, some people really do have, like, I've been around LA, bro. Some people really do got bitches. Like, that's a real thing. Yeah. Like, I've seen people who have, like, 5 girlfriends type shit or, like, in different area codes.
Bro.
That is just, like, that ain't me, bro. Like, I can't.
Dude, I would lose my fucking mind.
Like, it's, how do you fucking process? Like, you know what I mean? But, like, hey, bro, that's your life.
Yeah,
that's how you want to live. Man. Cool, man. But, like, they really can rap about them fucking bitches. Like, you know what I mean? But if you don't live that, bro, chill out. Like, chill out.
Who was it? Actually, I saw a video. It was on Snapchat. It was a little Tekka. and how it was like capping.
Yeah.
And he's like, bro, like I just sing this shit. I've never done any of this shit. He's just like, like, he basically said he was a square. He's like, I'm basically just like, I know how to rap and like get it down on the mic.
Mm-hmm.
I've never done any of this shit. I don't have a Lambo or like a Bugatti or anything. And I was just like, God damn, he's just like laying it all out.
Yeah, I mean,
I was tripping.
At least he's true about it. You know what I mean?
Hey, at least he was honest. You know, he's just like, I don't fucking do any shit, but I know it pops.
Correct. Yeah.
I know what sells.
Wait, who's your music influence?
Me? Mac Miller is probably my biggest music influence.
All right, respect to that.
Yeah, because I've been listening. Yeah, R.I.P. for sure. Because I listened to him before I like. That was like how I really got into hip hop, because I know he had influence from Nas, and then he had like just influence from a lot of old heads. And I loved his music, how groovy it was. It was kind of old school, but had that new school feel. And I guess that's kind of what I've tried to flow and put in.
Okay, yeah. I didn't know anything really. I mean, I knew like hip hop, but probably one of the first like rap songs, Kool-Aid and Frozen Pizza. You know, like I was like 10, 11, or I don't know how old, like 12, something like that. But I was little, but I was like, what? I was like, what is this? You know what I mean? I was like, he's white. Like, you know what I mean? Like, not even like that, but you know what I mean? I was like,
God damn, he's got bars.
Brother spitting, like, the hell? Like, I vibed out off that. You know what I mean?
Who would be, what's your like biggest influence musically, probably?
Chance the Rapper.
Chance?
Yeah, like
he's definitely the rapper, but he has such a good way of melodically putting it together.
Exactly. I'm just because I grew up, because I'm Catholic, bro. So like a lot of my life, probably all the way up to like.
So you were the goody two shoes kid. You were like I was like that too though, because I went to church. I was like Christian boy up until I was probably like 17. Super just like.
I was good, but like my sister's like in jail right now. Like. My sister's been in and out of prison all my life. Like I've seen like,
and it's like weird to think sister, because I'm like thinking like, oh, you just think dude automatic. You know what I mean?
Nah,
like,
bro. Like my sister was in like Colonia shits, like the Oxnard shit. Like my sister's about that shit. But like that was like
the Nard.
Well, like growing, exactly in the Nard, like. But that was her. Like she would roll the avenue and got into bad shit. She's in jail. Like I don't talk about that. But like,
dude,
that's what I grew up around.
You choose a lifestyle.
Yeah, I've seen shit. Like I've really seen some shit. Like, and that's like they look at me like, oh, you're a church boy, blah blah blah. I'm like, let me tell you a story, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
so you had that influence around you, but you also had the other side of it.
So church was my way out, bro. Like I went to church for community. Like, don't get me wrong. Okay. Like actually, I took Philip, your brother. I took him one time as a joke, not as a joke, but like he started going a couple times, and like I almost got him into it. But like I found community in church, bro. At home, like it wasn't always the best. Like it was. My mom always took care of me. Don't get me wrong, but like the influence around, like I said, like people like that,
it's different.
It was just like it wasn't. I went to church and I found a community of friends that like were opening and just were down to talk.
Yeah,
I love Jesus. I believe in a higher power. That's my, that's my belief. But like, that's just how it was. Like,
I went to like, what's it called? Youth group and all that. That's, I could say the same for me. It was definitely a place to like get away.
Yeah.
And like have that community and like.
You don't have to act fake, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
It just
like,
felt so, it just felt so good to be there. Like I had my homie Kevin.
Everybody's so nice.
Cool. Yeah, it was nice. We had played like the coolest games.
You crack jokes. Like, it was like, and like people look at it like, oh, Jesus. I'm like, hey, bro, like I would have been on the streets doing drugs just like some of my family members.
Yeah.
I would be out there doing shit just like I almost failed high school type shit.
Yeah.
I had to move away. I had to do like, I had to stay on a right path of some type. And like for some reason, the church just kept me on a right path.
That's good, bro. Yeah. I mean, it definitely kept me probably out of the fucking shit. Because
exactly.
If you think about it, for us two as males, with split parents, we have a 50-50 chance, right? 50% chance of going to jail. 50% chance of being really good in life.
Yep.
So like that's the whole thing is that like if you're on that, if you will go through the shit. Number one, like you'll go through some shit.
Yeah.
You'll experience some sort of down on yourself or whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like as like a child of split parents, but then eventually you have to there's a point where you choose like, oh well, and it also has to do with upbringing. Like I think that's why I was just like for a year, I went through and I just did drugs and drank.
Okay, yeah.
I just fucking partied.
Yeah.
And I got it out of my system. But then I just was like, I don't like how I feel.
I did the same thing, bro. Like I went, like, don't get me wrong, I wasn't a crazy partier, but like I went to a party or two.
I did kickbacks.
Like,
I love kickbacks because it was just we could get fucked up and just chill.
Yeah, and it's not like you don't have to worry about hiding my wallet or like somebody's gonna steal this or like some shit's gonna pop off. Like, you know what I mean? Because like, fuck, but like, I'm not a drinker, bro. Like, you know, like I did all my shits in the beginning of my high school years. You know, I got it out of my system. Like, I never did drugs. Like, you know, that's just some people. But the influence that my sister showed me, I never did anything, bro. Like, I saw it.
You saw the effects.
I've seen someone OD. Like, I've seen the shits. Like,
I saw that for the first time in jail.
Yeah, see, like,
that was when I saw ODing. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like, that's what that's like.
What that's
and
like.
And they look like they're about to die, and they're like, and then like a little drop of sugar, and they're almost back, you know, or some shit.
It was just nuts. Oh, dude, it's really, it's scary.
Yeah.
Like, you see it, and you're just like, what the fuck is going on?
Well, especially when someone like this, your family member, you know, it's like complete, and you're like, what, how old? And you don't even know why the fuck they're doing that.
Yeah.
And you didn't realize they were ODing until you were, what, 18?
Nuts.
Like, yeah. And you just think they were sick. Like, you just think they were sick or something.
How old were you?
Oh, bro, I was 12.
You were just like, what the fuck is going on?
Well, I walk in and then like I found him and I was like, oh. And I was like, I ran and I was like, hey, something's wrong. And like, they didn't want to call ambulance or nothing because like, that's just how shit was. And like, it was just, they fixed it, and then they finally took whoever it was to the hospital and got that fixed. But like, you know,
yeah, I guess if anybody out there, you know, struggles with any of that, it sucks because you can get sucked in so easy.
Yeah,
because it's easier. Yeah. The world we live in is not easy.
Not at all,
and it's not all peaches and cream.
Not at all.
So I understand why people do that to escape.
Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah,
I get it, but at the same time, there has to be a line drawn.
Nah, there's something just fucked up in your head, bro. Like, the drugs just do it to you. Yeah. It's not even, you didn't start out that way.
Well, and it's also the circumstances you're in and how you deal with your emotions.
Yeah, it's like obviously someone didn't care about you enough. You know what I mean? Like, someone wasn't
there. You just didn't have that love connection in some way, and like you decided
kept you there. You know what I mean? Like I love my mama too much to go do that shit. I love my girl too much to go do that shit. You know, like that's just how it works.
Yeah,
you know, yeah.
It's definitely when you have other influences in your life where you feel that love, and you still like get that. That's what I feel like. Yeah, it definitely keeps you on that straight and narrow.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have that love.
Yeah,
like in your life, it's just crazy that you feel empty. You'd feel like, oh, fuck this place. I don't give a fuck. You know, like it sucks, man. Yeah. That is a circumstance that a lot of people are in, especially this pandemic has brought a lot of people to realization, I think, of some of the mental things that they haven't dealt with because they've been stuck inside.
Yeah, exactly. You know? Well, like my mom's side of the family, like we get along, right? My dad's side of the family, they're like a fucking pack. Like, it's insane. They don't argue. I've never seen them argue in front of me. I've never seen them have a fight. None of that. Over here on my mom's
good communication
side,
on your dad's side?
It's so weird. I mean, because like my roots run really deep in over there in Virginia and Maryland. Like that's the DMV out there, DC, Maryland, Virginia. Like they do that shit. But like over here, the culture's a little different, obviously. Like
I have noticed.
Yeah.
Going from my wife's family. On her mom's side, they're all Hispanic.
Okay, yeah.
So she's half.
Yeah, my girlfriend's Guatemalan. I understand.
Yeah, so
I understand.
Their families, it's a different culture. It's like so tight knit. They all live close to each other. They all kind of planned out their whole futures around like knowing that there's going to be kids and knowing, you know what I mean? It's just interesting. And then out here, it's so like you have to hustle. You have to go, and there's no time to stop.
Yep.
You know, and you have to be independent and you have to get it done.
And that's where I found Ventura. It's right in the between.
Yeah, it literally, it definitely is in the in between there.
Like some nights I'll get hit up, let's go to LA. And I'm like, fuck, I don't want to go. I'm like, I don't want to go. But you know what I mean?
We just need to pump the brakes.
Yeah, but I'm like, if I don't go do that, I'm not going to get my next big move. I'm not going to get my next big gig. You know what I mean? So it's like, you got to go because you have to.
Yeah.
You know, like I wish... That's what I'm trying to do, bro. Like this documentary I'm working on right now for like my music. That's what I'm like, I want to make Ventura like that, bro.
Yeah.
I want to make Ventura like a little LA. Like I don't want to feel like I have to go. I want to put my own city on. Like, fuck putting another city on. That shit's already popping.
Yeah.
How can we make? Because like in Ventura, we only have one artist that came out of Ventura. His name's Kyle. I know
everybody, whoever lives
if you're from Ventura, there's my blah. Yeah, it's Kyle.
We know Kyle. He went to Ventura High School.
I went to the fair with him last year. It's Kyle, bro. It's Kyle. Like, you know what I mean? But
I also love that Trevor Wallace is from Ventura.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Oh, I love that guy.
But like, I love Kyle. Like, I love his music. Like, listening to his music growing up, I'm like, oh, he's from Ventura.
Yeah,
I can do that too. You know, like I was like, let me not take that for granted. You know,
definitely. Like, he definitely showed people that in that area that like it's very possible to like get it going.
Dude, like all Ventura needs is a spark. Like the kids the kids run deep, bro. Buenaventura rivalry.
And the crazy thing is there's also a heavy skate scene out there.
Oh my God.
So like it's crazy that hasn't with the rap and the skating because Lil Wayne skates and he's a rapper. You know what I mean? Yeah. And how that hasn't crossed over fully.
I got a guy who's doing that right now.
Really?
So my guy who's like it's me, my producer Hido, and then we have another artist named Kai. Mm-hmm. Also known as G Spend Money. He's a skater. He was originally he was just originally a skateboarder, bro. That was his thing. Mm-hmm. And he ended up going into rapping. Nice. He's been able to start doing modeling now through the skateboarding. And he's gonna take that on into the rapping. Yeah. You're right. Like people like are forgetting these old trends people have forgot. They're just gonna come back, bro.
Yeah, dude. Especially skating. Like skating, because I saw that's the biggest thing I've been happy about over the pandemic is I've actually seen a lot of kids skating outside.
Girl skaters, bro. Girls are. I love that, bro. They're getting into the sport, bro. Yeah. It's better than just like I'm used to going to like when I would go to the skate park when I was little. It was just boys, bro. Boys. Now I'm seeing girls out there whooping dudes. I'm like, yeah, you know,
yeah, for sure.
Like it's cool to see like everybody willing to go out there and do it.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's I was really cool to see that. I mean, because there is like somewhat of a thing with like the millennial generation. Like we definitely play video games. We know how to use a computer. Yeah. You know what I mean? Smartphone. You know, like we definitely indoors is kind of pushed a lot towards us. But like I just love sitting, and they're younger kids. You know what I mean? So they're not even millennial generation. They're generations after, and they're like we're outside, we're skating. You know, it was tight. It was really cool to see.
Yeah.
I hope it pops off there more than anything, really.
No, like I really wish like this little documentary we're making, like we're gonna show little parts around Ventura, and then we're gonna focus on that 24-hour because during the 24 hours, I mean, we were in the pandemic, but I got like at least like all the artists I can think of, or I reached out. Some of them couldn't make it, but all the ones in Ventura I could got them into the studio, man, and we made this track. Like we made these tracks and like shot the film and like.
Oh yeah.
You know, like why not just put my own city on?
That's tight. Yeah. And plus, it's a great city.
So nice. It's like it's so big. People don't understand how big Ventura County is. It's huge, bro.
Is very large.
All the way back to Thousand Oaks, all the way. You know, like
it goes north and south. You know, it's crazy.
It's everywhere. Like
and that's crazy because LA County is big, very big. It's always gotten bigger, but like Ventura County has definitely grown more than anything, I think, because LA has to stop at some point because there's not enough space.
Exactly. Well, one thing Kyle didn't take advantage. I mean, don't need the cap on Kyle, but like he didn't take advantage of Ventura. I mean, like he's starting to.
Yeah.
And I respect that. I love that.
He did that music video and he rented out that joint right on the beach.
If you remember, he made a track called "View from Hollywood," and because I've listened to Kyle's music, dude, in depth. I love his it's an inspiration because I like Chance the Rapper and they've collabed on tracks. So like,
you guys definitely have that same. You can lay down some hard lyrics while making it melodic.
Exactly, like because Chance the Rapper, his whole thing was gospel. He made the first Grammy-winning gospel album, bro. Yeah. And like me going to church, and then me liking a different scene out of church put together, bro. It was like that's possible. Like I can do that. Like what? Like. You know what I mean?
Now the possibilities are endless with music.
Thank you. Yeah, exactly. It's like so much stuff I feel like, I don't have to feel uncomfortable. I don't have to feel like I have to put on a show. Yeah. Like I'm being me.
Nah, that's always really nice.
But yeah, dude. Yeah.
Hey, Mike, how are we doing on time? What are we at? 48? Okay, cool. We're good. So documentary's coming out. When is that going to be dropping?
So we got the 24-hour documentary. sometime in March. We haven't really decided. We're gonna drop a date probably sometime in February, sometime here. Gotcha. We just got to get everything together. I'll be dropping it in March, and then so it'll be a tape and just our film. We'll probably put it on YouTube or something like that, and just and just trying to put my city, Ventura.
If you guys haven't been to Ventura, I mean, you guys know what Camarillo is. Most of y'all out here in LA do. Anyone knows what the not the collection, the outlets. Dude, everybody, whenever I mention, I even hear it on podcasts.
Yeah.
So like Trevor Wallace was trying to explain to Andrew Santino, who's on his podcast, Whiskey Jr. He's like, yeah, it's in the, I live in Ventura Bay.
Yeah.
And he's like, what?
Yeah.
And he's like, like Oxnard, Camarillo. And then he's like, the outlets.
Yeah. He's like, oh! Well, like I've had to tell people like, that city that caught on fire?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
with,
that one city that caught on fire, bro? Like, yeah, that's where I'm from. Yeah. Or like, I'd be like, what else have I told people? Oh, just to say Ventura or Santa Barbara. I'm like, it's next to Santa Barbara. And they're like, oh, okay. Yeah. I drove through there. It's like, thanks. Like,
and that is interesting that like, I actually didn't think about this, but Mike came out to the house in Camarillo and he's like, dude, this is kind of like the boonies if you think about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, you're kind of not wrong. Yeah. We are kind of out there and there's like mountains around us. We still have farms.
Kentucky.
Yeah.
We call it Kentucky. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a thing.
it was just so interesting. He was like, this is kind of out there. And I was like, I guess you're kind of right. Because where they live, I mean, it's around here. So there's like businesses. There's like everything's around.
Yeah.
There's little colleges here and there.
Ojai, like if you want to go get lost in the forest, go to Ojai, bro.
Yeah.
You want to go see the snow? Go to Ojai, bro.
Yeah.
Like you want to go to the beach? Go to Ventura.
Yeah.
What else do you need? Like,
and then if you want, you can even go to take the PCH, just go to Malibu. You can go to Zoom.
Yeah. LA's an hour. Like, what else do you need? Santa Barbara's an hour.
That is the benefit of out there.
Yeah.
God. So documentaries dropping hopefully in March. When do we expect the next like album or EP?
Summer.
The
first album. I'm not gonna rush stuff, man. Like it's patience, bro. Like I'm gonna take a year. Like I know if I were to drop something now, I'm gonna do so much more in a year that I'm gonna go, crap, I should have dropped it then. Yeah. Like I should have dropped it now. I shouldn't have dropped it then. You know what I mean?
Got you.
Like, so I'm just like, I'm willing to wait. I'm starting to like, until I feel like the moves are running out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The moves are just going, it's like a snowball, man. It's just like,
as long as you keep at it, man. That's the biggest thing is the discipline to just like.
Yeah, my friend James, he was like, just look at it, bro. It's a snowball, and it's just gonna keep piling up and getting. It can only get bigger, man.
Yeah.
I was like, you're right. Yeah.
Well, I guess to kind of wrap it up, where can we find you?
Instagram at Mike's Life, 3 E's.
Hell yeah.
Or Grigsb, Grigs, capital B, on Apple Music, all platforms,
Hell yeah. And he also does really cool little Instagram live things where he's producing music, guys. So you can always check it out on there. He's doing that once in a while. I always see on the stories and stuff popping up on Instagram live sometimes.
I get bored, man. I'm like, yeah, what would it be? Yeah, like why not? Like, and then like last night I got in a conversation with someone like I hadn't seen in a while.
That's tight.
Get out there.
Yeah, and that's the big positive about the internet nowadays is that you can connect with people that lost touch with. So,
sure.
As always, thank you to Productive Culture for the studio space. Yes. If you guys want to start your podcast, go ahead and head over to www.productiveculture.com/podcast. Go ahead and enter our name in there, Mad Track Talk, and they'll give you a little discount on your free first episode. They'll hook you up. Jam KM and all the guys here are great. And if you ever want to do anything, dude, hit them up on Instagram. I know everyone's always about collabs, whoever we've talked to. So any of the artists, you can always hit me up and I always can try and connect. So yeah, definitely take advantage, guys. There's plenty of heads that we've talked to before and that are going to be coming on. So thanks for tuning in. This is Mad Track Talk, baby. Later.
My fucking crown, yeah.
The fucking crown on me facing it. And niggas trying to race across the bridge. The mind slow on the patient shit. And nigga, what's the own terms? Riding through the haze. A storm got me on a page. Trying to figure out what's the way to get. Nigga, what's the difference? Eyes closed. All I see is pops and I'm the same kid. Looking through the mirror, code to drop. Hard to clear shit. Sample all the songs. Plug it up my spit. I shed a smog off the little bits.